Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this episode of the podcast, brought to you by the Australia Buddha's Practice Incorporated. Today, we dive deep into the intricate mechanisms of the human mind, delusion, sensation, and impulse. These forces profoundly shape our cognition, behavior, and even our destiny. Let's explore their nature and uncover the truth behind them. 1. Delusion. 100% falsehood. Let's begin with delusion. Make no mistake, delusion is 100% erroneous. It's not merely a replay of past experiences, or what we call past conditions, prior sensory impressions. Instead, it's a distorted reprocessing of these experiences. When delusion arises, it draws upon the past conditions, everything we've seen, heard, or felt, as its raw material. But it doesn't stop there. Delusion interweaves these materials with our afflictions, greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, and doubt, as well as our personal perspectives. In essence, delusion is like an inner scriptwriter, directed by our afflictions and biases, weaving a narrative from the raw data of past conditions. This narrative is shaped by our consciousness and emotions, creating a story that feels real but is far from the truth. The danger lies in how easily we believe and act upon these delusions. A single deluded thought can set off a chain of actions, leading to a cascade of karmic consequences. This shows just how profound the impact of delusion can be. 2. Sensation. A unique individual experience. Next, let's examine sensation. Each person's perception of what is good or bad is shaped by their unique early conditioning, or imprinting. This imprinting creates a distinct way of experiencing the world. These early influences solidify into what we call consciousness, or discernment, which shapes how we perceive and interpret things. In other words, consciousness resides within sensation. Without consciousness, there is no sensation. Sensation and consciousness form a relatively independent module, providing raw, personalized data to the mind. Your consciousness, shaped by past imprinting, solidifies your understanding of the world, and your current sensations, whether pleasant or unpleasant, manifest based on this solidified understanding. It's critical to distinguish sensation from delusion. While delusion draws upon the data provided by sensation to construct its narratives, sensation itself is rooted in the initial imprinting that defines good or bad for each individual. Sensation is not delusion. It's an independent source of raw material that delusion manipulates. 3. Impulse. The inner and outer stirrings. Now, let's turn to impulse, which can manifest in two forms, outward and inward. Outward impulse is immediate and reactive. When triggered, it leads to impulsive actions, like lashing out or taking it out on someone. Inward impulse, on the other hand, brews within. It's the inner turmoil driven by karmic habits and afflictions, stirring the mind into agitation. On the surface, one might appear calm or even put on a facade of composure, but internally, the mind is in upheaval. Importantly, both types of impulse stem from the same source, the inner afflictions and karmic habits. Outward impulses are, in fact, sparked by inward impulses, showing that all impulsive behavior originates from the mind's unrest. 4. Confidence. The blind trust in delusion, sensation, and impulse. Finally, let's tie these together under the concept of confidence. Here, confidence doesn't refer to healthy self-assurance but to an unwavering belief in delusion, sensation, and impulse. When we deeply trust our delusions, we act on them as if they were true. When we fully believe our sensations, we follow them blindly. When we are convinced of what benefits or harms us, we give in to impulses. This confidence encapsulates our blind faith in these three mechanisms, revealing why we so readily let them govern our actions. 5. Emotion and consciousness. An inseparable bond. It's worth noting that emotion and consciousness are often discussed together. Where there is consciousness, there is emotion. Where there is emotion, consciousness is present. They are interdependent and inseparable. Our consciousness shapes our emotional experiences, while our emotions, in turn, reinforce our consciousness. Closing thoughts. Dear friends, today we've dissected the facet of delusion, the uniqueness of sensation, and the dual nature of impulse. We've also seen how our blind confidence in these mechanisms drives us to act, setting off chains of karmic consequences. Understanding these inner workings is the first step toward wisdom and liberation. We hope this episode has offered you some clarity and inspiration. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.